Do you want to know how to create a Google ad so effective that leads can't help but click on it? You've come to the right place. My name is Andrew Peluso. I used to sell pest control door to door. I also used to do a little bit of technician work. And today I own and run Pesty Marketing, where we get our clients over 10,000 leads per year. And on this YouTube channel and at our company, it is our goal to help you grow your pest control company. Today, we're going to talk about part 2 in a 3-part series on a pest control PPC funnel. And today we're going to focus on the advertisement. Now, if you didn't watch the previous video on targeting, I recommend starting there because it can be really helpful. You don't need to, but it does give you a little bit more context about running your Google ads and how to do it properly at a foundational level. But today, if you just want to figure out how to create a more effective advertisement holistically, then that's what we're going to talk about. There's also another video on how to write effective search ads. So there's another video you might want to check out if you want to do a deep dive on the topic of copywriting in your ad. Onward. So throughout this video, I am going to refer to the customer, the consumer, lead, a user as Mrs. Jones. And I do that for a couple of reasons. Number one is it's much more effective to do marketing. It's a good headspace to put you in to write your ads and create your marketing for a specific person, a specific persona, because ultimately people aren't reading. It's not a crowd of people who are reading your ad. It's not a crowd of people who are seeing your marketing, right? It's individual people. And so your advertising needs to speak to an individual person. I use Mrs. Jones because as the kind of head of the household, as Mrs. Jones is usually influencing or making the purchasing decision. So that's the persona I like to use. And that's who I'm going to refer to throughout this presentation. Getting your advertisement right on Google Ads is about the aggregation of marginal gains. What do I mean by that? Well, this concept is about making small incremental improvements in any process, which when added together result in a significant improvement overall. It suggests that by focusing on improving every aspect of your ad by just a little bit, the cumulative benefits can be substantial. Everything we're about to review is about getting many little things right so that you can enjoy substantial outcomes. There are a lot of different levers and dials to twist and turn and pull to make your ad more effective, and you want to leverage all of them, and you want to do a good job with all of them, because if you do, your ad's going to be more effective and work better for you than your competitors. Now, we're going to start with the ad creative. Ad creative is the copywriting in the ad and the headline and the description. Copywriting is just it's the text, it's the writing, right? So it's the actual salesmanship that you're going to do through the ad, through the medium of writing to convince Mrs. Jones to click on your ad. So there are, like I said earlier, we have a video where we talk about how to write effective search ads. We're just going to talk about what I consider the 3 most important components of your ad creative, starting with an offer in the headline. Including a relevant and compelling offer in the headline is the single most effective way I know to increase the odds that Mrs. Jones clicks your ad and contacts you. Right? So even Terminix knows they need to include an offer. As big and powerful and as much brand awareness as they have, even they include an offer in their ad, right? Save $50 on pest control. Very straightforward. You don't need to do anything particularly fancy. You just need to speak to the most compelling part of your offer. Next up, you want to make it local. Mrs. Jones is most interested in an offer specifically created for her city, i.e. for her and her situation. So you want to tailor your ad content to resonate with her, emphasizing offers and solutions relevant to her geographical location, right? I'm in Fresno. I'm not in Fresno, but let's say I was Mrs. Jones and I was in Fresno, and I go look up pest control or pest control Fresno, and I see an ad that says $49 pest control Fresno, right? First off, great offer, sounds super affordable. Second off, if I'm in Fresno and I see an ad that says pest control Fresno, then I'm going to assume this ad is for me, right? This ad is as relevant as it gets. So making it local is super important, and doing that at the city level, because that's how people think about where they live. They think about the city that they live in typically as being the most relevant thing. Then that's what you want to speak to. And the third really important component of effective ad creative is incorporating keywords. So this is an easy way to grab Mrs. Jones' attention and confirm that your ad matches what she is looking for, right? So Again, I'm Mrs. Jones. I go to Google, I type in pest control. Then I better see an ad that says pest control because that's going to be what's most relevant to me. If I went and I typed in termite control, I want to see an ad that says termite control. If I typed in ant control, spider control, rodent control, bed bug control, you get the idea. If you want to grab Mrs. Jones' attention and you want to say, hey, this ad is relevant to you, then you want to match the keywords that she typed into Google. So matching the keywords, super important. Okay, if you do nothing else with ad creative and you just do those things, you will be far better off than most pest control companies I see. Next up, we are going to talk about assets. To maximize the effectiveness of your ads, you have to take advantage of assets. Assets include the headlines, descriptions, links to specific parts of your website, call buttons, location information, and more that come together to make up the eventual ad format shown to a user, right? So if you're logged in and your dashboard looks like mine, and in the upper left corner or upper left area, you're going to click campaigns, you're going to click assets, and then assets. This is going to take you there. If your dashboard doesn't look like mine, then you're going to go to Google, type in Google Ads, assets, and they will walk you through how to get to assets in whatever dashboard that you have. When assets show, an ad is more prominent and typically performs better, meaning more people click on it. So we're gonna walk through some specific assets and the ones that are most important for you to use as a pest control company. So let's walk through those. First up, business logo. This is the logo that appears when your ad shows. It's important because if you're a company with brand awareness in your market, you want people to recognize your logo, potentially increasing the odds that they click on your ad, right? So if you're active and you've spent a bunch of money on billboards, on vehicle wraps, on yard signs, and you're getting your logo and your colors all over, a city, a town, then because of the familiarity principle and because people have seen your logo all over the place and you've created some brand awareness, there is some trust that has been built up with those people, right? They see that you're around. They see that you're a company that must be big because they're seeing your logo everywhere. So when they go to Google, they may not have been looking for you, but they may have just been looking for pest control. But when they connect the dots, either consciously or subconsciously, and they see your logo in the ad, they're going to think to themselves, oh, I know that company, and they're going to be more likely to click on your ad. You want to make sure that when you do this, you do it correctly, though, because Ulta has made the mistake of formatting their logo incorrectly. It actually even looks broken when you look at it compared to Aptive's logo, right? The box is not formatted in a circular manner, so it kind of looks like it's formatted strangely. It looks a little bit amateur. However, it is, I would argue, better than not having a logo in the ad at all, because when you don't have a logo and your ad appears next to a competitor who has a logo in the ad, it kind of makes your ad look broken and unprofessional, which could result in fewer people clicking on your ad. Next up, location asset. On the search network, ads with location assets can appear as a standard text ad with your location and phone number. On mobile, a clickable call button may show in place of your phone number, right? So if I'm in Austin, which I am, and I go to Google and I type in pest control, and I'm looking for a local company, then when your ad shows up, and it shows up with your address, I may even recognize the street. So I may even recognize that, oh, I know where that office is, or I have a good idea of where that office is. And this makes the ad and the company more relevant to me, right? I want to work with a local company because this is where I live. I want someone who understands the pests that are here. And in order to do this, you need to have a Google business profile, and you need to connect that Google business profile to your Google Ads account. And when you do this, you have the opportunity for your phone number, for your address to show. Additionally, your ad can appear beside, above, or below search results on Google Maps, including the Maps app, right? So this asset shows your local and gets you exposure you otherwise wouldn't get on Google Maps. So if you've ever seen these ads, you wondered, how do I get my ads there? This is how you run search ads, use location asset, and you can show up above your competitors in the Google Map pack or in Google Maps, just like this. All right, next, the call asset. This asset provides a button that takes customers directly through to a phone call, creating a smooth transition between your ad and speaking to you directly, right? So rather than someone clicking on the ad, going to a landing page and you having to convince them from there to contact you, if they're in a hurry, if they want convenience, as soon as they see the ad, they see that they can contact you, they're just going to be able to call you directly from the ad. This can be a great way to increase your lead volume at a lower cost per lead, but our data has shown that these leads also tend to be lower quality than leads who first click your ad and contact you from your landing page. And that's because they just tend to be less sophisticated buyers. People who really do their research and want to find a good company and who take the time to do that, they tend to be higher quality leads. They tend to kind of know what they want, know what they're looking for, and they just tend to convert better. So if your goal is lead volume, then using this call asset is really useful and important. But if your goal is purely quality of leads, I might actually stay away from this asset. Next up, site links. Site links enable you to take up a ton of real estate on a search engine results page and draw attention to your ad. Site links are a type of ad extension that allows you to add additional links to your ads, which direct Mrs. Jones to a specific page on your website or a specific section of your landing page, right? So in this case, what Aptiv did is they created these site links. Find us near you, 24/7 support available. Personally, I think these are kind of weak. Find us near you doesn't really there's nothing compelling about that. Like, there's nothing that makes me want to click the ad more. Since you're running an ad at me, I would hope that the ad is already relevant enough that if I click the headline of the ad, that's going to connect me to a local branch or something that's local and relevant. So I think that's kind of a waste of a site link. 24/7 support available, also not super relevant because the odds that someone's going to need pest control and 24/7 support is pretty low, right? Emergency pest control is not really a thing. It can be, but and if this ad was running in the middle of the night where you want someone to know that it's midnight and you can still help them, that could be effective, but that wasn't the case here. So wouldn't have chosen these site links myself. These site links appear beneath the text ad in a search results page and provide a way to offer more targeted options directly to Mrs. Jones, enhancing user experience and increasing the chance of a conversion. We only send traffic to a landing page at Pesty Marketing. So my favorite way to use the site link is to call out a guarantee or key aspect of the offer that we know is important to a certain segment of customers. For example, let's say we offer same-day service and Mrs. Jones is looking for someone who can come out the same day. If she sees right down here in the site link that the ad says get same-day service, she's much more likely to click the link. When she does, we'll send her directly to the section of the landing page that speaks to this need and increases the odds of her converting into a lead. And that's it, guys. So to recap, we've got the three components of ad creative, making it effective, including the offer in the headline, making it local, and matching the keywords that Mrs. Jones included in her search on Google. Then you have assets. The most important assets that you want to look at are including the logo, using the location asset so that you can show up in Google Map Packs and have your address and phone number show up, using the call asset so that customers can contact you directly from your ad and you don't have to convince them of that on your landing page or website. And lastly, site links so that you take up as much space as possible on a search engine results page, really take up all that real estate and make your ad more enticing to click. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment and let us know what else you would like us to create. Next up in the series, we're going to focus on landing pages, so be sure to subscribe so that you can stay informed once we upload that video.